Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings viewers and subscribers. Today's video is sponsored by Different Strokes. Do remember that Different Strokes will be held on Saturday, March 25 at Waves Beach in Negril in the parish of Westmoreland. Pre-sold tickets are now on sale. You can get your pre-sold tickets in Savannah Lamar at Carla's Nail Salon, Candid Expression and D&L Phone Shop, in Lucy at UG's Cellular, in Negril at World of Sports, and in Montego Bay at the Photo Shop. Tickets are also available online at differentstrokesjamaica.com. At Different Strokes, good vibes, good music, big people sitting. Different Strokes is fully endorsed by Popeye Newslinks. Check it out. So this is our second video for today. If you missed the earlier video, I implore you to go back and watch it. Earlier this week, I told you that the Westmoreland police, they have arrested and charged Akeem Melbourne. He is 19 years old and he's living at Garden District in the White House area in the parish of Westmoreland. Akeem, he was arrested and charged for the murder of Damian Thompson, also known as Daseka. Also, the wounding of two others, one known as Prami and the other one known as Scribble. All three were shot on the night of Saturday, February 11, about some minutes after 10 o'clock at Garden District. Like I told you, Prami, he was the target because it is said that Prami, he was identified by his rivals as one of the hoodlums who shot and killed Garshan Myers, also known as African. African, he was also of a Garden District address. African, he was shot and killed on the afternoon of Monday, August 8, 2022, about some minutes after 8 o'clock at Garden. And that day, African, he was the pillion on a motorcycle. That motorcycle, it was being driven by one of African's cronies. I'm gonna give you the name of African's crony for a reason. His name is Hepburn McCartney, but he's popularly known as Grimy. He is 26 years old and he's originally from Crawford in the parish of St. Elizabeth, but he was living at Garden District. In that incident, Grimy, he had received gunshot wounds, but he was treated and subsequently released from hospital. African died on the spot. So when I carried this story about Akeem Melbourne being charged, I told you that the police, they were searching for two other persons. Well, one of them, he gave himself up to the police yesterday. You want to guess who it is? Yes man, the same Hepburn McCartney, also known as Grimy. The same guy who was shot when African was killed. Grimy, he has now been officially charged for the offense of murder as well as 2 counts of wounding with intent and other charges. Roger Webb, you are wanted by the police. In this next incident, that female on your screen, her name is Shadae Sherian Brown. She is 28 years old and she's a surgical nurse assistant. She was employed at a private medical facility in Mandeville and she, her 11-year-old son and another child, as also her spouse, who is popularly known as Nice. We are learning that Nice, he's a taxi driver. They were living at a house at Newport in the parish of Manchester. Now if you look on your screen, that's a photo of Shadae and her spouse Nice. We are learning that last night, Friday, March 10, about 8:30. Shadae, she was at home when a dispute developed between she and Nice. It is alleged that Nice, he pulled a knife and he used it to juke up Shadae. We are told that she was stabbed in her upper body. Shadae, she was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced DEAD on arrival. Nice, like I said, he's a taxi driver. He had fled the scene, but before I started recording this video, information came in that Nice, he's in police custody. As soon as we get any further information, I will definitely be updating this story. Sad indeed. In this next incident, on the evening of Wednesday, February 1, 2023, this news sent shockwave through the island. This news caused politicians to call for the death penalty for the killer. And that is the part about politics that I hate most. Because guess what? The politicians, them know that based on the law that is in place, the killer of this young girl will not be getting a death sentence. But the politicians, them not care. They want to play on people's emotions so that their ratings can go up in the polls. What these politicians must do is bring amendments to Parliament and stop the grandstanding. So, back to the story. The female on your screen, her name is Nicketa Noel. She was also called Jojo or Joanna. She was sexually assaulted and killed near to her home on her way from school. Her stepfather, he was taken into police custody the same night. We are told that DNA evidence has linked the stepfather to the killing of Joanna. Well, yesterday, Friday, March 10, he was charged for the offense of murder. He was charged for killing Joanna. His name is Omar Green. He is 42 years old and he's a construction worker. He's living at Barbary Hall in the parish of Anova, so he'll be going to the courts next week. Also, we are learning that Joanna, she was laid to rest today. You know what the sad reality is? Do you believe that this guy allegedly sexually assaulting Joanna, do you believe that this was the first time? You really believe said this was the first time this little piece of nastiness was touching Joanna? If you do, I don't. There's a lesson here, you know. There's a lesson right here. Parents, especially mothers, be careful of some of these so-called men who you carry home in your children's life. Do your research. Do not take anything for granted. Time hard, and I know that some of you need the help, but do not sacrifice your children. May Joanna's sweet soul rest in peace. This next incident, it took place yesterday morning, Friday, March 10, about 7:30. It took place right in the vicinity of the Bickerstead Gospel Chapel at Richmond Road at Bickerstead in the parish of St. James. We are learning that residents of the area, they reportedly heard gunshots being fired. When they went and made checks, they saw a man from the community. His name is Mr. Ezekiel Barrett, but he's popularly known as Barker. On June 22 this year, Barker, he would be celebrating his 52nd birthday. Barker was a Rasta man and he lived at Blue Hole in the same area. The police, they were called and it was observed that Barker, he had received gunshot wounds to his face and his abdomen. He apparently died on the spot. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 8 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to do it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be the first to be notified. In the final story for today, and what I'm going to be giving you are the allegations. I was not there. Anyone who was there and have a different account of what took place, I implore you to contact the authorities. So we are learning that a man, his name is Devon Wright, on January 4. Mr. Wright, he celebrated his 59th birthday. It is said that he was a farmer and he lived at Top Geneva in Grange Hill in the parish of Westmoreland. It is alleged that yesterday afternoon, Friday, March 10, about 5:30, Mr. Devon Wright, he went to a shop in his community. It is said that a youngster was near to the shop. This youngster is about 16 years old. The allegations are that Devon, he didn't take kindly to how the youngster was looking at him. It is alleged that Devon, he said something to the youngster and the youngster responded. It is further alleged that Devon, he picked up stones and started throwing them at the youngster. It is further alleged that the youngster, he walked off and went home. Devon, it is said, now armed with a machete, he followed the youngster to his home, threatening him to chop him up. It is alleged that the youngster's mother and stepfather, they were at home and they saw Devon coming with the machete to chop up their son. As a result, they started throwing stones at him. It is said that Devon was still advancing towards them with the machete and threatening to kill them. They threw more stones at Devon and one of the stones connected, and that was it for Mr. Devon Wright. He was hit to the left side of his head and he fell to the ground. The police, they were called, and when they arrived on the scene, they saw Devon lying on his right side, still clutching his machete. From all indication, he died on the spot. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Vlog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them no out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, what a shame. But me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica.